A few glanced over their shoulders at the mad dog, who stood 15 feet away, alone, as always, pushing his books onto the top shelf of his locker. He gave no sign that he'd overheard. He had been very good at concealment, even in his youngest days, though the ranch girl didn't seem to care one way or another. The mad dog was a social nonentity. But she paid for her careless talk. He held her comment to his breast for 3 years, knowing his time would come. And it did. She went off the back of the horse, stricken stone-cold dead by a fast-expanding copper-jacketed hunting bullet. The mad dog ran lightly through the woods and across a low stretch of swampy prairie. He dumped the gun beneath a rusting iron culvert where a road crossed the marsh. The culvert would confuse any metal detector used to hunt for the weapon, although the mad dog didn't expect a search. It was deer season, and the woods were full of maniacs from the cities, armed to the teeth and ready to kill. The season, the weapon cache, had all been determined far in advance. Even as a sophomore in college, the mad dog was a planner. He went to the girl's funeral. Her face was untouched, and the top half of the coffin was left open. He sat as close as he could in his dark suit, watched her face, and felt the power rising. His only regret was that she had not known that death was coming, so that she might savor the pain, and that he had not had time to enjoy its passage. The second killing was the first of the truly chosen, although he no longer considered it a work of maturity. It was more of an experiment, yes. In the second killing, he remedied the deficiencies of the first. She was a hooker. He took her during the spring break of his second year, the crisis year, in law school. The need had long been there, he thought. The intellectual pressure of law school compounded it, and one cool night in Dallas, with a knife, he earned temporary respite on the pale white body of a Mississippi peckerwood girl come to the city to find her fortune. The ranch girl's shooting death was lamented as a hunting accident. Her parents grieved and went on to other things. 2 years later, the mad dog saw the girl's mother laughing outside a concert hall. The Dallas cops dismissed the hooker's execution as a street killing, dope-related. They found Quaaludes in her purse, and that was good enough. All they had was a street name. They put her in a pauper's grave with that name, the wrong name, on the tiny iron plaque that marked the place. She had never seen her 16th year. The 2 killings had been satisfying, but not fully calculated. The killings in the cities were different. They were meticulously planned, their tactics based on a professional review of a dozen murder investigations. The mad dog was intelligent. He was a member of the bar. He derived rules. Never kill anyone you know. Never have a motive. Never follow a discernible pattern. Never carry a weapon after it has been used. Isolate yourself from random discovery. Beware of leaving physical evidence. There were more. He built them into a challenge. He was mad, of course, and he knew it. In the best of worlds, he would prefer to be sane. Insanity brought with it a large measure of stress. He had pills now, black ones for high blood pressure, reddish-brown ones to help him sleep. He would prefer to be sane. But you played the hand you were dealt. His father said so. The mark of a man. So he was mad, but not quite the way the police thought. He bound and gagged the women and raped them. The police considered him a sex freak, a cold freak. He took his time about the killings and the rapes. They believed he talked to his victims, taunted them. He carefully used prophylactics, lubricated prophylactics. Post-mortem vaginal smears on the first 2 cities' victims produced evidence of the lubricant. Since the cops never found the rubbers, they assumed he took them with him. Consulting psychiatrists, hired to construct a psychological profile, believed the mad dog feared women. Possibly the result of a youthful life with a dominant mother, they said, a mother alternately tyrannical and loving with sexual overtones. Possibly the mad dog was afraid of AIDS, and possibly, they talked of endless possibilities, he was essentially homosexual. Possibly, they said, he might do something with the semen he saved in the prophylactics. When the shrinks said that, the cops looked at each other. Do something? Do what? Make snow cones? What? The psychiatrists were wrong about all of it. He did not taunt his victims. He comforted them, helped them to participate. He didn't use the rubbers primarily to protect himself from disease, but to protect himself from the police. Semen is evidence, carefully collected, examined, and typed by medical investigators. The mad dog knew of a case where a woman was attacked, raped, and killed by one of two panhandlers. Each man accused the other. A semen typing was pivotal in isolating the killer. The mad dog didn't save the rubbers. He didn't do something with them. He flushed them with their evidentiary load down his victims' toilets. Nor was his mother a tyrant. She had been a small, unhappy, dark-haired woman who wore calico dresses and wide-brimmed straw hats in the summertime. She died when he was in junior high school. He could barely remember her face, though once, when he was idly going through family boxes, he came across a stack of letters addressed to his father and tied with a ribbon. Without knowing quite why, he sniffed the envelopes and was overwhelmed by the faint, lingering scent of her, a scent like old wild rose petals and the memories of Easter lilacs. But she was nothing. She never contributed. Won nothing, did nothing. She was a drag on his father. His father and his fascinating games, and she was a drag on them. He remembered his father shouting at her once, I'm working, and you will stay out of this room when I am working. I have to concentrate, and I cannot do it if you come in here and whine. The fascinating games played in courts and jailhouses. The mad dog was not homosexual. He was attracted only to women. It was the only thing that a man could do, the thing with women. He lusted for them, seeing their death and feeling himself explode as one transcendent moment. In moments of introspection, the mad dog had rooted through his psyche, seeking the genesis of his insanity. He decided that it had not all come at once, but had grown. He remembered those lonely weeks of isolation on the ranch with his mother while his father was in Dallas playing his games. The mad dog would work with his .22 rifle sniping the ground squirrels. If he hit a squirrel just right, hit it in the hind quarters, rolled it away from its hole, it would struggle and chitter and try to claw its way back to the nest, dragging itself with its front paws. All the other ground squirrels from adjacent holes would stand on the hills of sand they'd excavated from their dens and watch. Then he could pick off a second one, and that would bring out more, and then a third, until an entire colony was watching a half-dozen wounded ground squirrels trying to drag themselves back to their nests. He would wound 6 or 7, shooting from a prone position, then stand and walk over to the nests and finish them with his pocket knife. Sometimes he skinned them out alive, whipping off their hides while they struggled in his hands. After a while, he began stringing their ears, keeping the string in the loft of a machine shed. At the end of one summer, he had more than 300 sets of ears. He had the first orgasm of his young life as he lay prone on the edge of a hayfield sniping ground squirrels. The long spasm was like death itself. Afterward, he unbuttoned his jeans and pulled open the front of his underwear to look at the wet semen stains, and he said to himself, "Boy, that did it. Boy, that did it." He said it over and over, and after that, the passion came more often as he hunted over the ranch. Suppose, he thought, that it had been different. Suppose that he'd had playmates, girls, and they had gone to play doctor.